For this video, we're going to do a little extreme fishing, you could say. It's pretty cold out. The high today is only like 35 or 36. We're looking at an east-southeast wind that's going to be 15 to 25 mile an hour. And we're going to try to catch some crappie. I mean, everybody says it's too cold to go fishing. I wish I could go. We'll get out there. We're going to show you that you can catch some fish. It can be tough, but today we're going to focus on structure. We're going to be spot locking right on it. If that doesn't work, we'll try to find some open water fish, but with this cold front, they'll probably be right on structure, so we'll see what happens. First fish hadn't been set up very long. Not a bad sized crappie. Hopefully that's the sign of how today's gonna go. Pretty nice one. Another one. Just a little guy. We're definitely going to keep some crappie to eat today, but these ones we'll just throw them back and let them grow up. Somebody else catch them when they're bigger. Thought I felt something funny on that one, so I picked up the pole and started jigging it a little bit. Another one. Real finicky. As you can see, we got them sitting in the rod holders. And sometimes you can see when there's a bite, and sometimes it'll just move. So you just got to pick it up, and if you see the line dance, just get into them. He's borderline. We'll probably throw him in the live well. He's an eater, but maybe we can pull him out and keep some bigger ones. That feels like a real small one. I didn't even see it bite, and Riley said, looks like he got one. Look at that guy. Woo! That's a baby.
No minnow here.
Got one here bumping this one, but he just won't commit to it. Little fella. So that's the bad thing. You're fishing like this. He was just kind of bumping it, and I didn't really know he was on there. And he's got it swallowed pretty good, so I'm going to take a look at this. He's already bleeding, and if it won't come out, we may cut the line, or we may be eating a little one. No point in throwing back a fish you know it's not going to survive.
Another pretty nice one. First one of mine.
So far, what we're doing to catch fish, and the only way it's been working, is we're letting it down and just go all the way to the bottom. And when it hits the bottom, all we're doing is cranking up our slack basically down to the water and then sticking it in the rod holder. So between having your split shot 12 inches from your hook and you're just reeling this down to the water like that, we're basically pulling these fish right off the bottom that way. Because as the boat just kind of moves around, that minnow might even tap the bottom at times, and we're just trying to keep it just off, but brushing the bottom's okay. And of course we haven't shown you is we've got in this structure a bunch. I've already lost several rigs, so that's just a little tip to what we're doing here. And as you can see right here, I think we're still sitting in 22 to 23 feet of water. As you can see on this, we're sitting still, and there's the structure we're sitting on. So that's where we're pulling them off of. This cold weather, they like to get deep and stay down there. First one I've caught off that side of the boat. Just big enough to be an eater on that guy. It's actually messing around because my two other poles got snagging them, retying them, and happened to get this one on this side of the boat. So we'll see. Riley may have the short end of the stick fishing that side. A little one. Not big enough to eat, but fun to catch. Another little one. Still small. Another little one. It had been a while since I had got a bite. Riley was over here playing with jigs, and he actually started using ice fishing jigs and tried several colors, and he put on a white, and boom, he caught 2 fish in a row sitting right here in the same spot. So he may be onto something. We'll see. It's really slowed down for me, and it may pick up for him working those jigs. Ooh, there's a good one. This feels good. Not as big as I thought, but he's a keeper. Just big enough to eat. Well, we moved off the structure. The fish started getting a little bit slower on there. We were just catching one here and there every 15 minutes. So we decided to get out and fish a little more open water. We're not real far from the structure, but we thought maybe they were cruising around out there. And we've kind of worked outside of the structure, maybe 20 yards outside of it, did a little bit of a circle, and then we pulled off even farther, and we haven't had a single bite. So now we're gonna just try somewhere else on the lake. Like I said earlier when we started this video, it's 15, 25 mile an hour winds today coming out of the east, so we're just trying to hug the east side of these high banks. So it might be a struggle the rest of the day to find more structure in a place that isn't beating us to death, but that's just something when you're wanting to get out fishing, the weather's this bad, you gotta give and take a little bit. So we're gonna get down the lake and see if we can find anything else. That didn't take long, really. Just dropped that down, and that was on one of his white jigs. We went to other parts of the lake and tried to stay in the calm water and find structure. Everywhere we found more structure was a lot deeper. It was up to 32, 33 feet of water, and we did not get a bite on that. We just fished those for an hour. So we decided to move towards the west side where the wind wasn't terrible. We could still fish. Found a little tree here, boom, got one right away, and it's back in 20 and a half feet where we were catching them earlier. So I'd say these fish are really locked down to that 20 to 22 foot depth today. Decent one. Not a monster, but he's another keeper. We just came back to our original spot. We have fished several places now. Only caught one fish in another place and had, I believe, one bite in another one. And we're not sure if it's just because the water was so rough we couldn't keep our bait still, how we were presenting them, or if it's just the area. I mean, we're back into that 20 to 22 feet of structure, and that's where they're holding, and at least it's nice here, the water's calm. pecking on for quite some time and just couldn't get into him. Another real nice one. There's something about today and this cold front that's got them just locked into this one spot. It's usually not like that. Usually you can find any kind of structure in the same depth and get on them. But this is just outside of the channel break too, so maybe just getting on the outside of that current helps.